Is Cyberpunk 2077's launch possibly the worst one since Fallout 76? Yes, obviously. Hello, everyone. I am Mecha Random 42, the one, the only, the original, your favorite YouTube consumer advocate, Harpy. We got consumer advocacy stuff we're talking about today, and this CD Projekt Red Cyberpunk. Why am I saying Fallout? Because I'm reminded so much of what happened with Fallout 76 when that one launched, and it was so hyped, and then you got it and there was nothing to do, and see, this is why I always wait with AAA games. This is why I'm like, you know what? Call me a bit of a cynic, call me a skeptic, call me a curmudgeon. That's perfectly fine. I am all of these things. When I see these giant AAA games that are so hyped and everybody loves so much and everybody wants to jump on board with the second they launch and everybody's excited, right? And people love them before they even play them because they look, so interesting or amazing depending on what you're looking for. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here still playing Terraria from like 2011 because they keep updating it. Side note, that's a total side note. We're talking about Cyberpunk 77. When a game is so buggy and glitchy that not only do the devs actually apologize for it, they issue refunds on PlayStation. It's not just Steam. Now we've already had the ability on Steam to get a refund for pretty much most game as long as you meet a few criteria. You have to have not played it for more than, I'll refresh my memory, a couple hours, not had that much gameplay into it, and you have to have purchased it within that day. So basically, you buy it, you try it, if it doesn't work or you can't stand it, you get your money back pretty quickly, right? Well, this game is so buggy and glitchy on PlayStation. They're offering refund. They're just flat out saying, you know what, we're gonna we did a boo-boo, our bad, oopsie, you can go ahead and have a refund. That is a lot better than a lot of these other game developers, I will say. That is a lot better. They could have just released it finished, though. That's all I gotta say. They could have just released a finished game. But what would happen if I saw Az tweeting about this today. He said they should have just pushed it back. And my first thought was, if they had pushed it back, I think it was Az, it was somebody was tweeting about it today. If not, I'm just gonna credit him for it because it sounds like a smart thing he would say. My first thought, though, was that if they were going to push this game back one more time, people would have lost their minds. They would have flipped out. They would have gone full Timmy. Timmy! And they would have lost their minds. But at the same time, I have to pull this one up. Ghost of Tsushima, which I can barely say because of the TS right next to each other, launched finished. There were no microtransactions, there were free expansions, and it runs at 60 frames per second on PS5. Kind of want to get a PS5 so I can get Ghost of Tsushima now. I don't know if I would probably play it enough to justify the cost of a PlayStation, though, but it looks fun. It looks really fun. I've been meaning to get around to playing that one when I'm done with Yakuza Like a Dragon, which I'll never be done with because I think I got stuck, which I always do. I wander off and I get stuck. That's my experience with video games. I get really, really into doing everything, and then I wander off and get stuck. And Cyberpunk looks like a game where I would probably want to wander off if it wouldn't crash after 2 seconds. I want to pull up Young Rippa's Twitter thread. He's got the perfect anecdotes of this. And, just follow him on Twitter. I'm sure he has a video on this one I haven't checked yet. Because thanks so much, YouTube. Is it back? Is YouTube back? Are we done being, poked and prodded and backdoored and everything else? That sounds way dirtier than it should be. You can finally get your refund if you want. Here's why. I'm not going to show you his whole video, but he goes, crash. And he plays a little longer. Crash. He plays it again. Crash. I saw a little bit of a stream where it just kept crashing and crashing and crashing. And you know what? I'm too lazy to crop the article differently. Comicbook.com has it. You know what? The New York freaking Times is running this. The New York freaking Times is acknowledging that this is a big enough deal. This is a big enough deal going on in the world with everything else going on in the world to talk about The developer apologizing and offering a refund for... Let's just read this one. The company behind the long-awaited video game pledged to fix the bugs and crashes after complaints from players poured in over the weekend. Oh, you could barely watch a stream of it depending on who was streaming and depending on what they were running it on. It seems that people are having fewer issues right now with the Xbox XS. Oh, I feel like such a boomer when they just barely tweak one little letter of the consoles. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I got a beastie monster PC and I'm still looking to upgrade. So yeah, I'm one of those people. Like the build I have will run everything I play perfectly. I still want more because PC envy. The maker behind Cyberpunk 2077, one of the year's most highly anticipated video games, on Monday apologized and offered refunds to players who were disappointed in the game's performance. After days of complaints over glitches and poor visuals on some platforms, most platforms. Out of what, the 3 you released? You didn't release it on Switch. Oh god, it's gonna run like a tank on Switch. It's just gonna... Is tank a good word or a bad word? I'm imagining it just kind of going slowly, crawling along at like 10 frames a second and then crashing. That's what I imagine with tank. Is that the right word? It'll run like a turd. It'll run like a turd on Switch. And don't get me wrong, I love my Switch. I got it right here. It's always like the most handy, ready to go console. What are you bleeping at me for? Now it's bleeping at me. So that's my most played console that I do have. It's too early in the morning for me to be rambly. The maker behind Cyberpunk 2077, one of the year's most highly anticipated video games, on Monday apologized and offered refunds to players who were disappointed with the game's performance after days of complaints and glitches over poor visuals on some platforms following its release last week. CD Projekt Red, the Warsaw-based developer, said in a statement signed by founder, "I am not going to attempt to pronounce your name, I apologize." And others said it was sorry for not showing the game running on base models of last generation consoles before it was released last week, eliminating the opportunity for gamers to make an informed decision about purchasing. And this is why we go and dig through the internet for reviews, and this is why we want to, and still you're going to still have, I get it, I have pre-ordered stuff, I have loaded games, I've reloaded, and also thank you so much for subscribing. If you do like my content, please like, subscribe, hit the share button, it really helps, I do appreciate it. I've preloaded games myself and gotten so disappointed when they're not ready. I get it, how you're gonna be so hyped and excited for a game that you just don't want to wait for the reviews. But, man, you know people are going to be playing this the day it launches, CD Projekt Red. You know you have this hype. You know you have this massive amount. You know you sold enough in pre-orders to pay for the entire thing. What you could have done is said, hey, there's gonna be a lot of crashes. We're gonna release it on time. But we're still going to be... That's what they should have done in the very beginning, I think. They should have said, hey, without further pushing this back one more time, because how many times have they pushed this back? I lost count. Without pushing this back one more time, we're going to go ahead and release it, but there's a lot of bug issues. It is not finished. It is not as finished as we would like. That's what you kind of want to do. You want to be honest and upfront in the first place with a lot of these, especially if you're charging somebody a base price of $60 to play your game. Especially because people don't have a whole lot of money all the time. And there's their whole statement. We should have paid more attention to making it play better on PlayStation and Xbox One. No crap. Instead of pandering to the oh, can we have this pronoun? Can we have that gender? Can we have this and this and this? Maybe instead of pandering to a crowd of people who are going to be mad anyway. They're not going to be happy anyway. They're there to be professional victims, to be outraged over everything. And this is not an you know what, you do you, honey boo boo. You be the gender and the true yourself that you want to be, and nobody has a problem with that. But you're kind of, look what happened. They were so busy focused on all the bullshit and all the stupid stuff that nobody actually cares about, that you can't even play the fucking game. And sorry for swearing so much, but that's what really pisses me off. And that's why I don't pre-order AAA games anymore, because of this stuff. And that's just me personally. I'm not saying you guys should or shouldn't. I don't personally, because of this crap. Because we are in this modern day and age where I am so used to being let down. I'm so used to being disappointed that I don't even get that excited for these anymore. They're turning a lot more people into curmudgeons like me, who are apathetic, who are just going to say, you know what, I'll play it in a couple of years once it's finished. That's not fun. That's not fun, because then you're gonna miss out on the opening night connection that everybody has while they're playing it all at the same time and talking about it. Remember what happened with Skyrim when everybody was, you knew what every person on your Steam friends list was doing, and they were all playing Skyrim that first night when it was launched. Same thing with Cyberpunk. I had about 30 friends the next morning after Cyberpunk launched, playing it that next morning, out of my 300 in my Steam friends list. I thought it'd actually be higher, though. I really, really did. I anticipated it being higher, but maybe we're just in the day and age where people no longer take a whole week off to play a video game. Because I was always hearing that. Pretty much every friend, every Steam friend. Oh yes, I've taken the week off to play this video game. And they're not even fixed. See, that's what they need to do. If it's not fixed and it's still buggy as crap, put up a warning and say, you know what, we're going to do this. If you still want to buy it and still want to preload it, great. And then that would make everybody else unhappy, so you can't experience it all at the same time. There's not a good way around this. I'm contradicting myself. Go ahead and cancel me for it. I apologize on that one. and now I'm pissing off the SJWs too, and everybody. We should have paid more attention. Yeah, you should have. Cyberpunk, which had already been delayed repeatedly, we know, we talked about it, is an action-adventure roleplay. Yeah, we got it. Complaints about the game. See, they give you all this backstory for, like, the normies who are like, what is this Cyberpunk video game? Because this is the New York freaking Times who were talking about this. Complaints about the game's performance began not long after it was released on Thursday. We were watching. Gamers took to social media to voice their frustrations over error messages and other performance problems. Yeah, we did. They did. In its statement, Projekt Red pledges to fix the bugs and crashes that have upended play. A round of updates will arrive within the next week, followed by larger patches in January and February. That's a long way to wait. See, you might as well just wait till then to buy the damn thing. Together, these should fix the most prominent problems gamers are facing on last-gen consoles. See, so basically, if you wanted to run by the new gen, buy the PlayStation 5. We would appreciate it if you would give us a chance, but if you're not pleased with the game on your console and don't want to wait for updates, you can opt to refund your copy. That's actually pretty decent. It's not like we're going to fix it, and then you're waiting and waiting and waiting. That's at least better, but still. Are they going to blame the last, 2020, the great toilet paper shortage of 2020? Are they going to blame that? Cough, cough. This is the cough, cough motion, even though I didn't say it. Are they going to blame that? Because you can work from home doing game dev for the most part. Because you're at a computer and you can go anywhere with an internet connection if you have the computer to do so. CD Projekt Red did not immediately respond to a request to comment on Monday. Before the game launched, excitement had been building, and they received over 8 million pre-orders. 59% of those sales had been for PC users, the remaining 41% for consoles. Before the game launched, they made enough money to make back all of the costs in the pre-orders alone. The pre-orders alone were enough to pay for all development of this game. All. So I want to ask you guys, what would you have preferred they do? Would you have preferred they released it anyway with a disclaimer or pushed it back again? Because I think people would have been upset either way. Which is why I get so frustrated with just video games and gaming and a lot of this stuff in general. I'm not going to say that. And that's why it's so frustrating, because this is another one of those examples, and we're going through a whole lot of them lately, of a rock and a hard place. I am MechaRandom42. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.